Welcome one, welcome all, welcome near, welcome far. Welcome to the world's greatest sports podcast.
Burr.
Somebody said podcast. Episode 146. Real quick episode. We are currently watching the national championship game where the Michigan Wolverines dominated Michael Penix and the Washington Huskies 34-13. Fellas, it's been a long season, a long, eventful college football season, and it comes to an end. Harbaugh got him one. Michigan,
Finally.
This is their first national championship since 1997. Charles Woodson. How do we feel about this? How is this? Michigan is a blue blood team, and you want to see teams like Michigan, Ohio State, and other teams outside of Bama and Georgia win it, but especially the blue bloods. How do we feel about Michigan being on the mountaintop again?
I'm cool with it. I mean, you guys know I'm low key a old OG Michigan fan.
You're a heavy fan.
I'm a fan, but to be perfectly honest, in this this year of college football, where we never saw a true dominant team. I know we talk about Georgia, and we know that they're really, really good. Mm-hmm. We never saw one team just separate itself the way Georgia has in the last couple of seasons. I actually wouldn't have been mad if Washington had won this game.
Yeah, we were all rooting for Washington.
Just to get some parity into the league. It's almost like when the Chiefs randomly came back, I'm like, oh, wow, the Chiefs are good. The Chiefs hadn't been good since the 1960s, right? And they finally won one, and now they're the dominant team. So if Washington had come out and won, now it kind of opens the door, especially going through next year in a 12-game playoff. You never know who might win the national championship. It doesn't have to be a blue blood.
See, I look at it a little bit from that perspective, but I also think it is really cool to see programs like Michigan get back to prominence because, let's be honest, for a while we started to think, are they ever actually going to be able to get back to that?
Or are they ever just going to beat Ohio State?
Or for that, like,
yeah, for a while.
They couldn't even get over that hump, right? And then when they did that, they went into the playoff and they lose to TCU. And it's like, really, Michigan, what are we doing? So even though Washington lost, I think it's really cool that we got a Michigan-Washington. So you get Michigan, who's a blue blood program, like you guys mentioned, and then we get some fresh blood in Washington. I mean, we haven't seen Washington win one. They still didn't win. But we haven't seen them win one since 1991. So just to see somebody other than Georgia and Alabama and Ohio State and the same ones we keep seeing, not only did they not win it, they weren't even in it. I thought that was really cool. And I like to think that this is showing a couple of things. That one, just because a program hasn't been great in a while doesn't mean they can't be great again. But also it doesn't mean that in this current landscape, other programs can't rise and get to that level.
Right. Yeah. And as we're speaking, we're actually seeing Michael Penix walk down the tunnel. He's holding his rib. He had a tough night, man. So let's get into the minutiae of this game. And I would like to think we have to start with the trenches because that's where the game was won. And Penix, like I said, he's hurt. He's hobbled right now. And Michigan, they were just dominant up front. Michael Penix couldn't drop back without guys in his face all night. What do you guys think was the biggest takeaway from this game? What controlled this the temperature of this game?
I mean, for me, it was kind of why I thought Michigan would win this game. And we talked about the Washington-Texas game, and Michael Penix wasn't touched. You give a really good quarterback time, he's going to pick you apart. And that's what Michael Penix can do. Michigan hit him.
A lot.
Right?
Yeah.
And also in that secondary, we're sitting there watching, even when they couldn't get pressure, that secondary did its job. Michigan has been lauded all year for their front seven. And I think that, their secondary is also good. Today, they said, hey, we're just as good as guys in front of us. And they couldn't get, I think it was like third quarter when Breeze finally said, oh, Polk is here?
No, literally.
Right? Like, he wasn't there. Roma Duke, like, these guys weren't showing up, and they're the best wide receiving core in college football.
Supposedly.
I think that they are.
They've been the most productive. They've been the most illustrious.
Yeah. And no, I'm saying, and Michigan's defense made them seem kind of pedestrian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's interesting to see Michigan win old-fashioned football. Right? They just did it the old-fashioned way. They won up front. It was done, like you said, through the trenches. Their defensive line completely dominated. Washington's offensive line won the Joe Moore Award, and I couldn't tell tonight. They were completely outclassed. They seemed nervous. They couldn't identify pressures. They multiple false starts, holding penalties. Literally, Michigan seemingly had that offensive line's number all night. And in that case, it's not surprising to see Michael Penix take the shots that he did, to see him almost hobbling off the field because he was under pressure. He was under fire all night. And then conversely, on offense, Michigan, they ran the ball to the tune of 300 yards.
300 yards.
That's old-fashioned football of, hey, we're just going to dominate you up front, and we're going to overpower you, and we're going to dare you to stop it. And Washington had moments. Like, the final score is 34-13. I think that doesn't really show what the game was because for a good while, the score was 13-20.
Right.
Right? It was within reach. At halftime, it was 17-10. At the end of it, Michigan got a couple of scores that kind of extended it. It was a competitive game, but even within the score being within reach, Michigan was always in control.
Right.
And they controlled it up front. If you can beat teams up front, you can beat teams. Like it's really just that simple. And so we see all the flash in the pan these days, and quarterbacks can throw sidearm, and they can do all this stuff and all the gadget and trick plays. Good old-fashioned football still wins ball games. Michigan went through Alabama to get here. Yep. They went through Ohio State to get here, Penn State, and in Washington, who had the most prolific offense in the country, they went through them too, and they did it playing old-fashioned football.
And in a weird way, like, again, the game last week against Alabama, I kind of saw the same exact game from Michigan.
It's who they are.
No, that meaning, did you ever think that even though the game was close, did you ever think that Michigan wasn't in control of the game?
You said that last week, too.
Right? There was a lot of times in this game, Breeze, you were like, hey, it's a one-score game. Hey, it's a one-score game. I'm like, well, yeah, but they're not scoring.
But
no, it's true,
and the thing about this run from Michigan, they weren't super dominant. They left teams in the game because there was, like Breeze said, it was a time in this game where the Huskies were still in it. Like, they were never out of it until towards the end. Michigan kind of seemed to just hit a brick wall and couldn't score for a while. And that Huskies offense just never took advantage of it. In the Alabama game, they left them in that game. So it wasn't like a dominant run for Michigan, but it was very Michigan, where we're gonna beat you in the trenches. Our defense is gonna not let you score. And we have a senior quarterback who made some good runs down the stretch. There was a point in that game where you thought the momentum was going to shift to Washington. They were inside their own. Michigan was inside their own end, and McCarthy breaks off a 15-yard run, and that kind of swung the game. So I think even though they weren't dominant, it was old school football.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I mean, the only reason why I push back on that is because I think Michigan has been dominant all season. They've only given up more than 20 points 3 times, and one was an overtime game. That was against Bama.
Wow.
So they've been dominant. It gets frustrating because, again, in football, nowadays in football, you want to see points, right? Yeah. You want to see 35, 38, 40 points. Well, that's just not Michigan. They're going to score because, well, yeah, they'll pile it on later. Yeah. Because it just wore you down. They're not going to win like that. They won because you can't beat us on the other side of the ball. I don't care who you are.
You can't beat them up front.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how many years did we watch Ohio State with first-round offensive tackles literally pound it down in the middle of Michigan, run right at them and dare them to stop it, right? Or how many times have we seen Michigan going to Happy Valley and Saquon Barkley's breaking ankles and guys are getting loose, right?
Right. Yeah.
And this Michigan team, you never saw anybody getting loose on them. So, yeah, maybe they weren't scoring 35 points a game, to your point, Pump. But you weren't scoring 20. They just needed like 20 points to beat most people.
I mean, this is a perfect case of defense winning championship. So let me just play devil's advocate real quick. Plug Georgia in this game. Does it go totally different? I think so. I think Georgia runs away with this game.
I'm not willing to say run away, and this is the only reason why. Excuse me. I won't say that Georgia would run away with it because this Georgia team was not as dominant against the run as we're used to Georgia being, which is why they lost to Alabama.
Okay.
We're used to seeing Georgia just so stout up front where you just cannot run the ball and they literally suffocate you up front. That's been the narrative about this Georgia team all year, that they weren't as dominant up front as they normally are on the defensive side of the ball. So I think Michigan would have found some success, but I would pick Georgia to win because on the other side, Georgia's offensive line, in my opinion, though they didn't win the Joe Moore Award like Washington's did, I think their offense is probably a little more balanced. They have a little more depth. You know, Washington's running back, Dylan Johnson, came into this game a little banged up. He left the Sugar Bowl not banged up, and we weren't sure if he was going to play. Georgia's got 2-3 backs, right? So, hey, starting back can't go. Well, our next back can't go. Or starting left guard can't go. Well, the backup is also really, really good. So I think Georgia would have been able to find more success on the ground. I got the stats pulled up, and I'm looking at Washington's numbers. Rushing yards?
46.
A whopping 46. That's not going to get it done against an elite defense. And I think Georgia's probably a little more equipped to be able to be more successful running the ball. When you become one-dimensional against an elite defense, you're going to lose.
Yep. I think Michael Penix threw the ball,
55 times.
50,
yeah.
You can't do that.
I don't care.
But
who
he had
you are.
to.
Yeah.
They could not get anything going on the ground.
It played right into Michigan's hands because that's what they wanted. They wanted to make you one-dimensional and force you to do what they wanted to do.
That was Pat Mahomes against the Bucs that year in the Super Bowl. Right?
Yeah.
You would think, just put it in Pat Mahomes' hands. Well, now they got to throw the ball 50 times.
Yeah, that's what we want you to do.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's kind of close it out. Hats off to Michigan, great season, cheaters, but whatever. You win the national championship. Like Bree said, regardless of all the scandals or what have you, we saw the games. We saw the product on the field, and it's undeniable that they're the best team in college football. And hats off to them for being the 2023 national championship. Do we have any final takeaways? What's Harbaugh's future there? Because I'm hearing NFL talks with Harbaugh. Any final takeaways, and what's the future looking like?
I mean, I still think that he stays in Michigan. He's officially a king in Ann Arbor right now.
Literally.
Statue.
Yeah, I mean, there might be a statue of Jim Harbaugh. Went there, came back, won a natty. He can write his own ticket. If he says, I want $20 million, they're going to give it to him.
No, like, it's crazy because we often talk about, he'll never have to buy another beer, right? Or he'll never have to pay for another meal. He will never have to pay another mortgage in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Correct.
Like this means something to me.
Like literally, there are people out there crying now because Michigan is back on top. When a lot of fans at some point probably started to wonder, will we ever get back there? And that man got him back. He will never have to pay for another thing.
We had a whole episode and we put him on the hot seat. Like that was season 1. We talked about Jim Harbaugh on the hot seat. So,
and if I can, just real quick, man, I also think we have to give him credit for doing it the way he did it. He did it his way.
Right.
He didn't do it Saban's way. He hasn't done it Kirby's way. He hasn't done it Ed Orgeron's way. He literally did it the Harbaugh way, which is crazy because watching his brother in the NFL, the teams look so similar in terms of like what they want to do. Obviously, player personnel is different, but he did it his way. I think we had the conversation earlier during the game. Shout out to Cam and Kobe that were here with us. We don't think there's one 5-star on that defense.
Yeah.
They took guys that fit their system, who fit what they wanted to be, and they developed them to the absolute best, and they got the most out of those kids.
Yep.
Right? Coming from a guy who pays attention to recruiting, and we're always looking at the 5-stars, and where's this kid going? Where's that cat going? In Michigan, they're never like top 5 in recruiting. You don't hardly ever see them in the top 10.
They're just looking for the right fit.
Correct. And then they develop like nobody's business, man. Like I think some coaches say it like, I don't look at stars. They're capping. Harbaugh, I really don't think looks at stars. He's looking at this guy have the physical traits and the mindset to buy into what we're going to teach him to play Michigan football.
And then you also mentioned with Alabama and Georgia with the player retention. Michigan, they don't lose a lot of guys to the transfer portal.
Not a lot.
So that speaks to that as well. So
that's the ultimate buy-in right there. Like I'm a gut this out.
And how many years did it take for them to get to prominence? Right, we were all ready, like you said, season 1. Yeah. We were ready to flush the toilet on Harbaugh.
You know, I was.
He was just chopping wood. He was chopping wood, and he was investing and developing, and then they messed around, and JJ McCarthy kind of hits. Because remember last year they started the season, and McCarthy started one game, and the other kid started another game, McNamara.
Yeah.
And then, okay, McCarthy's the guy, and they kind of start rolling with him, and they mess around and beat Ohio State, and they get and they lose, and they run it back again this year. Now they are, man. They don't want a natty, man. So I think that's amazing to see as a college football fan, not seeing a team go. And I love the portal, and I love NIL and all that stuff. I think it's all great to a certain extent. But watching a team and a coach kind of do it the old-fashioned way, I think that's really cool.
It's commendable.
I'm with you on that.
And shout out to my guy Stan. We had him on the show.
We had to bring Stan back.
Yeah, we had him on the show earlier in the season. He called it.
Stan might be in tears, man.
Yeah, he might be crying right now.
Hey, good for Stan.
Shout
man.
out, he's in Boston right now. So shout out to my guy
hey.
Stan. And shout out to the Michigan Wolverines. Pump, that's your team. Florida State didn't win the natty. This is your other team. So shout out to you, my guy. You got a natty.
Don't act like you ain't got love for the Wolverines.
You got major love for you. Always shout out Michigan on this show.
I like Michigan. This football season is weird. Just because my team was in contention, so it's not a consolation prize for me. You get what I'm saying? It's like it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't think it's weird.
It's like if the Cubs suck but the White Sox win, I'm like, hey, I'm happy for my mom.
Okay,
fair enough.
But if the Cubs are in contention and lose and the White Sox win, I'm like, man, whatever, we could have been there. So it's whatever. Good,
salty.
Yeah, good for them though. Good for them. Oh, 100. You know what? Actually, I'm just glad an SEC team wasn't playing in the game and didn't win.
There it is.
I'm happy for that.
How many years has it been? Well, no, Ohio State won in 2015.
Yeah, I'm about to
so
say.
what has it been? 8 years?
8 years
Since a non-SEC team won it?
8 years, yeah.
Georgia, Bama, LSU.
Clemson won a couple.
Clemson won 2018?
Yeah, Clemson.
2017?
Yeah.
What? That's still like 6 years, man.
But 8 years since an SEC team hasn't been in it, I don't think.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
But whatever, they didn't win it. So shout out to
Power 2. Michigan's in the other Power 2 conference. Yeah, so there's that. Oh, and Washington is also now in that Power 2 conference.
If you can't beat them, join them.
Apparently.
That's what we're trying to do.
Apparently.
Congrats to Michigan, and we'll go ahead and then close it out. I think you should actually play their music on the way out. Plug it in, but
so no,
we're gonna take a quick break and just jump into some NFL playoff action.
Okay,
go Blue.
The Red Lady Rum Punch is Tampa Bay's rum punch, a premium blend of rum with island fruit juice and natural flavor. Perfect for any occasion, including just sipping on the beach. To find it near you, visit theredladyrumpunch.com. Shake well, and please drink responsibly.
You ain't got that clip for me, do you?
I thought you wanted me to lead the show with that. And then all of a sudden,
you could have plugged it here.
I mean, the show devolved into a lot of different things, and
whatever. Tampa
Bay.
It is playoff time, fellas. Somehow, some way or another, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers found a way to make it into the playoffs. They are the NFC South champs, beating the Carolina Panthers 9-0.
Embarrassing.
And clinching. Baker Mayfield made him an extra $2 million.
Whoop-de-doo, Basil. I've never been not excited for the Bucs making the playoffs.
We got good news. We got good news tonight, though. Michael Penix didn't have a great game. He might fall in the draft, so it might work out. We could get him and make the playoffs.
Is this camera on me?
Yeah.
Hey, bring that boy Penix home, man.
I don't care what happened tonight.
Bring that boy home, man.
We got blockers.
Oh yeah, we gonna replace Cody Mock. No offense.
Yeah, get him out of here.
But we
Tristan
got
Wirfs.
Alex Jensen gonna come back. We got Tristan Wirfs, who's the best young tackle in the game. Hey man, bring that boy Penix on home, man.
3 in a row.
There it is.
On me. You feel me? They love to talk all that big. They said Tom not here, whatever. You feel me? They think they finna just run. This damn division still go through us, bro.
There it is, man. You feel me?
Shout out to Devin.
That wasn't Devin. That was
No?
Chris Godwin.
Yeah, Chris Godwin.
Oh, CG. Shout out to CG.
Tom not here no more. Don't matter. We made it in.
That boy got a 1K this year.
He did.
Third straight season with 1K. Mike Evans gets another 1K.
It didn't feel like it.
No,
didn't
not at all. Not at all.
That's how good our receivers are.
Man, bring Michael Penix back to Tampa, man.
Though. Yeah.
Good night.
So Monday night we faced the struggling Philadelphia Eagles at home in a wild card game. How do we feel about that?
We losing.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care what y'all trying to say.
Me and Cole going half on that game. I'm taking the Bucks.
It favors Philly
believe
-3. So it's a 3-point game.
What am I missing to not feel like the Bucks aren't going to lose comfortably?
Well, for one, Philly's missing their number one receiver.
There's a lot of injuries.
Okay.
He's hurt.
Okay.
They just played the Washington people and lost. So
They struggled with them early in the year when they were fully healthy. It's a divisional game.
Do you not think we're better than them?
Then who?
The football people.
It depends.
Come on, stop it.
I mean, from week to week, bro. Listen.
So I think we have.
They're kind of the same team week to week. Washington look good.
So some weeks they look good, and so they caught Philly on an up week. It's a divisional rival. You kind of know each other, and there's a little some extra. No, it's not.
No, I think Breeze has been saying this the whole season. Some weeks you're gonna get Heisman Trophy Baker Mayfield, and then other times you're gonna be. I've been on 18 teams Baker Mayfield.
Well, I've been on 18 team Baker Mayfield, and we still won 9-0. That's
Philly 9-0.
No,
Carolina.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying we have the defense. Because if we do get Heisman Trophy Baker Mayfield with the defense against Philly, we could win, right?
If you get Heisman Trophy Baker, the ceiling's the sky. I won't put any limitations on this team. If you get Heisman Trophy, getting the ball to guys, making that one little extra magic play, how did he get out of that? Squeezing through when he's under pressure. If you get that, then sure.
But now can you get it for
a lot of teams?
Can you get it for 3 games in a row against some of the best teams?
No.
All right.
No.
We're not going to harp on this game because I kind of see where we're at. Let's go around the horn. What do we have this game at?
Picking scores?
Picking scores.
I hate picking scores.
Pick him. I'm going
17-13 Bucks.
Ugh.
My guy.
20-10 Eagles.
Of course. Oh, ye of little faith.
All right.
Bro, come on. Have we not been watching the same Baker Mayfield the past few weeks? You're just a dirtbag.
I'm going 13.
You're so trash, bro. You're so trash. You trying to push this raggedy Baker narrative, bro. You've been on it all year.
What, Tampa Baker?
Tampa Baker. Like, stop, bro. You don't really believe in him.
It does have a good ring to it.
He plays really hard.
But you don't believe in him. Be honest.
To do what?
To win playoff games.
Would you take him on the Bears?
No.
All right.
Exactly.
Let's move on.
I got Justin Fields.
Exactly. What's your score?
13-21 Eagles.
Thank you.
Oh, come on.
Thank you.
What are we doing right now?
I don't believe in being
Bro, let's cut it out, man.
Yeah.
Bro, let's
we
stop.
know what we are.
All right.
Don't try to throw it in our face.
Fine.
Whatever, bro.
Hey, my team's, I don't even have victory one.
And that's what, because you don't have no skin in the game, so that's why you say
You
whatever.
did get a dub though. You did secure the number 1 draft pick and the number 10 draft
that
pick.
weeks ago. Secured that.
No, you secured it literally.
No, we
last
secured
week.
it week 3.
It was last
All right,
week.
we got a slew of games this coming weekend. Next game we have is the Cleveland Browns. They found a way to make it in against the Houston Texans.
They going wacko for Flacco in Cleveland.
Hey, Man, finally, y'all are hearing me out.
Yeah, I don't want to talk
How
about
long
it
I've
every
been
time.
saying it, though?
Hey, we don't have to talk about it. We can just call scores.
How long I've been saying it? I hate picking scores. Okay. I'm terrible at picking scores.
Yeah.
I mean, you have an exciting rookie quarterback who I think should be rookie of the year.
He's locked that up.
I also think D'Amico Ryan in his rookie season.
Shout out to that black man coaching.
He's coaching his tail off. So I'm actually going to go with the rookie over the number one defense in the league.
Yeah, I'm about to say I got to go with that. You know me. I ride on defense. Pause. The big pause.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, give me that defense. And right now, Joe Flacco is playing good ball.
He's going wacko, man. Yeah, give me the Browns in Houston, Texas.
I like that young boy. Man, did you see
really like CJ.
Like, you should pause that too.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you definitely should pause that because that's
crazy. Yo,
that's insane.
Moving on. Breeze.
Give me the Dolphins. Now I'm gonna take the Dolphins for real.
Talk about
he
it.
put some wheels on that goalpost again.
No, look.
First of all, can you admit on air that they're frauds?
I'm not gonna agree that they're fraudy, but I will agree that they are not what we thought they were.
Frauds.
No.
I'm not saying
They're not
frauds.
what you thought they were.
They're not. They're
'Cause
not
me and
what I
Unc said
thought
they're
they were.
frauds.
They're not frauds.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. Question: did they pass the somebody said fraud test?
Come
They
on,
did not.
keep it real.
They
Keep
did
it a
not.
buck.
They did not pass.
All right,
listen.
that's all we
I'm
need to know.
not going to argue with y'all about them because honestly,
got to.
they really blew the bag. But you know what though? Everything says pick Kansas City in this game. It's in Kansas City. It's Mahomes in the playoffs. It's Andy Reid in the playoffs, and I'm probably completely wrong. You very well could see Kansas City go out and dominate this game beginning to end. I think there's something wrong with Kansas City. Like, it's kind of weird. We kind of had the conversation a little earlier. It feels like this weird parallel between Kansas City and the Warriors where something's not there anymore. I don't exactly know what that thing is. The Dolphins are hopefully getting healthier. They're hoping to have their second most productive running back in the league and Mostert back. They didn't have him last week. That matters. It means balance. You don't want Tua throwing the ball a ton of times. Right. Their offensive line potentially might be getting a couple guys back. They've been banged up all season. I see a Jalen Ramsey game-sealing interception. I feel like Jalen Ramsey's made for these games in these moments. I don't know what it is. For some reason, I think I see the Dolphins stealing this.
Okay. I don't see it.
That's fine.
So
I don't blame you.
I think the thing that you think is wrong with the Kansas City Chiefs is the fact that they're a defensive team this year. I think they have a really good defense, and that defense is going to lead them to a victory over the Dolphins. We've seen good defensive teams stop the Dolphins. Yeah. Literally, all you have to do is take away Tyreek Hill. We've kind of identified that Tua is not that guy at quarterback.
But if Mostert's there, that you have to take away a run. When they don't have Mostert, they don't have a run game.
Chris Jones in that D line is a pretty good D line. They can stop the run. So
Chris Jones is him.
Yeah. So and we know Pat Mahomes, he's going to find a way in the playoff. Until you prove me otherwise. This is what you like to say, Breeze. Right. Until I see differently.
Until you do right by me.
You know what's crazy? One thing that Breeze always has been, hanging his hat on the Dolphins for is their record. And we've been looking at the Chiefs this whole season like they're an 8 or 9 win team that barely made it. The Chiefs and the Dolphins have the exact same record. Yeah. And it feels completely different.
Does it?
Yeah. It
completely different?
Well, because it feels like, the Dolphins, like you said, they're still winning. They keep winning.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, so the Chiefs. They ended up with the exact same record. But we're looking at the Chiefs because they've been to the Super Bowl 85 times in a row. All these things because they're the Chiefs.
And I guess to me that's the difference. The fact that they're the Dolphins were an up and coming team and now they're starting to get some expectations. Yeah. The Chiefs are the standard. Yeah. And they don't look like the standard.
But why would you pick against the standard if you haven't seen otherwise when it comes to moments like these?
The reason I am personally, I know I cut you off, is because they just haven't looked it. Okay. It's kind of the same reason I think I picked against Alabama.
What are they, 5? Is it 5 years in a row the Chiefs have gone to the AFC Championship?
Something like that. Yeah. Gotta be.
All right, let's call scores.
Chiefs 24-21.
I'm going Chiefs 21-17.
Give me the Fins 21-17.
All right. Moving on. The Pittsburgh Steelers against Buffalo Bills. Bills, move on.
How are the Steelers in here?
Let's just say
That
Bills.
defense.
I don't even want to break this game down.
17-10
Do you
Buffalo.
remember at one point we were like the Steelers were winning games and were like negative differential and like yards.
I don't even think their defense is that good though.
Man, they're doing something. They won 10 games. Hey, shout out to Mike Tomlin, Mr. Double Digit.
And he don't lose.
And all of a sudden,
crazy.
Buffalo stopped trying to have Josh Allen just win everything with his arm, and Stephon Diggs is mad, but they're just running the ball. They're winning the game just running.
Yeah. I mean, you still got to find Stephon Diggs in the playoffs.
Sure, unless you just keep running and winning.
All right, shout out to James Cook. We all got the Bills. We ain't even got to say score.
I think we're on the same page on this next one too, right?
Hell is going on?
Green Bay, Dallas. We all got Dallas, right?
Oh, 100%.
Nothing to break down.
Really? You shaky on the boys?
Stop it.
Look, I think I text Breeze after week 1.
12.
That Breeze. That my worst fear might come true. That the Packers have another great quarterback.
He's good.
Jordan Love.
Pump your brakes.
No, hold on.
Pump your brakes.
Jordan Love looks really good. Not just good. He looks really good. I think he's figured something out, and they're finding ways to win, honestly, because of him.
Okay.
He can go out there and win a game.
He's about to face one of the best pass rushers in the league.
Yes, he is.
And secondary.
Give me the Packers.
Really?
Yep. Give me the Packers 21-20.
Wow. I mean, it would be very Cowboy-like, but I feel like the Cowboys, they've been hitting on all cylinders. CD is having one of his best seasons ever. I think it's time for Dak to take the next step. Micah Parsons and that defense is going to wreak havoc on this young quarterback. And give me Dallas 24, Packers 10.
Okay.
Give me Cowboys 33-17. I don't think it's that close.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay.
I like the Cowboys to win big.
All right.
I feel like I'm going to be wrong on all of these. I don't know what it is.
Last game of the weekend, the Los Angeles Rams against the Detroit Lions.
When did the Rams win 10 games? When did that happen?
It flew under the radar.
We all forgot about the Rams, right?
Wait, first of all, shout out to Puka. He broke a rookie record for most receptions and receiving yards in a season.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nuts. That's part of the reason why they won 10 games. And
also, the Niners didn't really play the last game, so they kind of got gifted the 10th win.
That too.
Give me Detroit.
Detroit.
Behind my boy Goff?
Behind that run game.
Dan Campbell?
And Dan Campbell. And the kneecaps. And boy, they have no kneecaps.
Jared Goff.
Stop it.
Yeah, give me Detroit. Dan Campbell needs to stay out the way. Stop calling fourth down plays in your own end. Just call it a regular game. You have the most talented team on the field, and you should win. Even though Laporta might not play.
Yeah.
But I mean, they still got weapons outside of him. So
all of a sudden, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a guy.
You draft him in fantasy. Whatever you do, just draft him in fantasy next year.
Ford Field is going to be on fire. That stadium is going to go bonkers. Give me the Lions, man.
All right, we all got the Lions.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on? It seems like it's a lot of surprising team. Like I didn't expect the Packers to be in the playoffs.
Nope.
I didn't expect the Rams to make the playoffs. I didn't expect Pittsburgh,
the Bucks,
or Green Bay. Like every single team, at least every single team this weekend, I didn't expect to be in the playoffs. That's parity for you.
Can we talk about the Jags blowing the bag?
The Jags decide to be the Jags.
Getting ran through and worked over by Tanner Mid and the Titans? Are you kidding me?
You called out Trevor Lawrence earlier in the season.
Bro, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Listen.
They took a step back.
Quick question.
Yeah. Yes, Breeze.
Breeze won in the tuck.
Would it be disappointing to get a Super Bowl that isn't Ravens Niners? Or is it just me?
Who Who else would it be? Let me think.
If that's only because you want to see Lamar win one, then I think that's what it is.
I think those are the two best teams. I think. I mean, they look like the two best teams, and you look at their records versus the other highly rated teams.
It would be a
They beat
disappointment.
a lot of those teams.
It would be a disappointment based on the level of those two teams, but I still think if you get Dolphins and somebody else, it's still
Y'all expecting
entertaining.
the Dolphins to get beat down week one.
No,
I'm just saying it's still guys out there. Like,
again, for me in that situation, it's like watching the game tonight. If it's a good game, I don't care.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If I'm watching an entertaining game, I don't need to see Lamar out there. Would that be a fun game? Yeah. Maybe not. It might just be the Ravens getting thrashed by the 49ers or vice versa.
Yeah, or like, would you like to see like the Browns and the Niners?
No.
Like, no, we don't want to see that. Let's be honest.
But why? If that game was as good as that Giants and Patriots game,
so if somehow
wouldn't you not be entertained with that?
If somehow Pittsburgh,
No, because I wanted the Giants to lose.
If somehow Pittsburgh and the Bucks make it, you wouldn't be entertained by that.
Nobody wants to see that.
Right.
Let's be honest.
If it's a
Be honest.
if it's a 35-31 shootout, you'll be like,
but you know it's not going to happen.
You don't know that.
Oh,
did we not just go through this whole thing of line it up?
But Punk,
I get it.
No,
but,
serious. But
like, the
you want to
NFL,
see
you
that,
kinda
man?
know.
No. So
You
hold
don't
on.
want to see Browns Bucks in the
Wait
Super
a minute.
Bowl,
Hold on.
man.
At that point now,
Flacco and
now,
Baker.
Yeah, like
listen to me,
what?
now all of a sudden maybe you don't have two elite teams, but the teams are even. That's an even matchup to me.
Yeah, evenly mid. I don't want to see that. I'm a Bucks fan. Like,
okay, now stop
Bro,
it. No, because
I would love
right,
to
because
see
you
my
two douchebags would
Okay.
be in here the next episode. Tampa Bay,
Got to.
Tampa.
Hey,
have your
listen.
little 3 and 2 and 5 year shirt
Listen.
on. And
Last
like,
time we won
whatever.
a championship, we hugged.
Now,
come
we
on,
did.
man.
That's the last time we hugged too.
Come on.
Listen, I would love to see the Bucks in the Super Bowl, but let's be like, as a fan of neither team, you don't want to see the Bucks and the Browns in the
you
Super
don't.
Bowl.
You're
Don't.
just trying to be an antagonist. You
No,
don't
I'm
wanna see
not.
that.
When my team is not
You
in
don't
it, I
wanna
really
see
don't
that.
care.
That's a mid-off.
I didn't want to see Michigan Washington.
And I could tell the whole game. You didn't want to see it. You were asking for a blowout. You didn't want to see it.
And you got it.
I don't care.
So now an opportunity to say, hey, what's a game that I would like to see? Would you not rather see Ravens, Niners over Bucks and Browns?
Once again, if it's a good game, the game we just watched wasn't that good.
Nobody has a crystal ball.
That's all I'm saying.
Nobody has a crystal ball. But based
get
on
what
what
you're
you
saying.
know or what you think these teams to be, if you had to choose right now, if you had an opportunity to say, this is the Super Bowl matchup.
The most exciting
No.
team in the NFL.
Pick teams.
You get to pick between Ravens, Niners, Bucks, Browns. Which one are you picking?
Well, yeah, one is more star-studded. So cool, I'm gonna take that one.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. We want to
But
see that.
I get what you're saying. Like the game is played on the field.
Yeah,
So if it's a good game on the field,
because that game can honestly be trash.
Wait, cuz hold on. The games are gonna get played. This conversation doesn't affect the games that get played.
Oh, 100%.
So the
We're
games
just
will get
talking,
played.
yeah.
But as far as us as fans and wanting to watch good football
you
and elite
see
play,
Lamar on that
we
stage.
want to see the best.
No, the problem that I have with that is if the same guy that'll watch Maction on a Thursday.
That's different.
I'm not doing that.
Wednesday.
It's not.
First of all, it's
on
Wednesday.
Wednesday, excuse me.
Get it right.
Because you just like to watch ball and good games.
And I'ma watch 'em
Are those
all.
games good?
Sometimes, yeah.
That's all
I'm
that
not
matters.
watching it.
Sometimes, but if I'm picking
all that
between Ball State and Wyoming,
Or the Chippewas.
Okay,
Right,
first of all,
versus-
you're over here betting on McNeese State, so I'm
hey,
not.
you can't say Nathan.
Can't say cutting.
I don't need no narrator.
Come on, man.
Yeah, like if I'm picking between that game versus,
Right.
you know,
So again, if I
Michigan, Ohio State, give me Michigan, Ohio
so
State.
if I could have watched Kobe and LeBron in the finals for 3 straight years, of course I'm gonna pick that.
that's all I'm saying.
So based
So
on
anything
all right.
other than Niners, Ravens, I'm gonna be a little
All
disappointed.
right, we got to get out of here. So,
Yes.
but based on this conversation that we just had, who do we expect to be in the Super Bowl?
I have no clue.
You got to give me something.
Because nobody, again, it's like the NCAA. The 49ers look really dominant until they weren't.
Whoa. When healthy, they
Yes.
are dominant.
I know, but
Now, if they get injuries, that's different. But as far as they're healthy right now, if they stay healthy, they are dominant.
It should be Niners Ravens.
And that's what I hope we get.
Niners, Ravens across the board.
That's what I hope we get.
But
We just had that a
we
few
won't
years
get
ago,
it.
right?
I feel
Probably
like we
not.
won't get it.
No, the Ravens will do something goofy and Lamar will, I don't know.
I'm rooting for Lamar all the way, man.
100%.
This is his year to get one.
It's probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. The Niners are super good, man.
We'll see. Fellas, college is over. We're winding down the NFL, man. It's a sad time, but we still got Lakers are trash.
Football's like Haley's
Lakers
Comet,
aren't-
man. It's just like
Lakers aren't
so
trash.
bright and style, and it's just gone.
This is a football country, man.
And
we were
it
dominated by it.
flew. It just flew by.
I mean, also I got Champions League still going on, international soccer.
You're talking about that.
I mean, we don't watch.
Yeah, that football.
Guys are,
Baseball is coming.
don't
up.
we get Olympics this summer?
We
too?
do.
2024 Olympics?
Yeah.
Where's it at? Atlanta.
I don't know.
No,
It's in Japan, isn't it? Or Paris
No.
or something like that.
Paris or Japan, one of them. It's not here.
It's definitely not
I
here.
thought it was in Budapest.
It's definitely not in Budapest.
Budapest.
Black Widow.
All right, bro. Let's get us out of here.
This has been another episode of the World Greatest Sports Podcast, the Somebody Said podcast. The man to my closest right is the one and only, the maestro, Pumpy Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Man, to my far right is the one and only, the infamous Pac-12 Breeze, which is no longer.
Hey, man. One time for the Pac-12.
Shout out to the Pac-12.
RIP to the Pac.
Turnpike Breeze, 2-bite Breeze. You know him as Breeze.
Yeah.
And I'm Monk. We'll see you next week.
We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.